Welcome everyone. My name is Anna. This is my first interview for Waackeisha TV, and I'm here tonight with Liam McFly or Waackeisha, who came to visit Vancouver for Last One Stands that happened last night. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this interview. And just to start off, do you want to tell a little bit about yourself? Where did you grow up? Like how did dance come into your life?
What was the first question? When I grew up?
Where did you grow up? Yeah.
My background is, my mom is from Barbados and my dad is from Belize in Honduras. So having strong Caribbean parents, my dad was a dancer and he was a locker and he did animation and robot. So from a young age, he was always playing funk records and stuff. And mom wasn't much of a dancer; she did more bodybuilding. So did my dad too. So I started dancing. I liked dancing from the age of 2. I was already clapping on beat. I had videos of that. And by 5 years old, I was like doing ballet classes, and I kept doing different styles until I found that I liked hip hop probably in high school.
Okay. So, you're a very versatile dancer. You seem to like a lot of different styles, including hip hop and wacking, and you also do some popping and dancehall. Mm-hmm. Is there a style that is your favorite or that you feel more connected to than others?
Hip hop.
Hip hop. And
yeah.
Why? Why is that?
Because of the lifestyle, the videos I used to watch, and just the TLC and MC Hammer, Janet, Michael, and I always just loved that. I was like, one day I want to be in front of the camera and do stuff like that. So I knew that I expressed it the most naturally because that's the music I listen to a lot, even with funk too. And that just as my natural movement, that's what it was until I got to learn more about the foundation, and then also just learning that when I jolt my shoulders, it's 90s, but also it could also represent a pop. So there's certain things that inspired I saw things happen in my body that I was like, oh, maybe if I learn popping, it will help my dance, and just kind of go like that.
Okay, and who were your main mentors in hip hop and other styles?
For hip hop, I looked up to Tash, who now lives in Vegas. Black Cat, I used to take class with her. She used to remind me of Missy Elliott. It's called Missy. Shauna Roberts, she was doing. She started the movement. A lot of people don't give her credit like she deserves, but she's a really good businesswoman and dancer. And then throughout that, Black Cat led me also into the wacking. When I started to learn about wacking from my dad's friend, and then I met Daz, and he was doing house, so I started taking house classes. And I did it at a time a year. I took a year to just learn that style completely, and then try to maintain by going to clubs. And then wacking was for me to get more feminine, because I was very tomboyish, and I wouldn't get auditions because I would get them booked, but they would tell me I was too aggressive. So that inspired the wacking, and then once I got comfortable with my dance, I decided I'll come back to dance hall. Before I was I always did it, but I wanted to show that I had skills. So I was like, I grew up with that, so I'm not going to do that. Guys aren't going to take me serious if I whine. But now I've noticed that helps too with the rhythm, so I just started going back into that. So it's friends, my surroundings, my brother, and also just watching videos and being inspired by artists too.
Yes, great. And obviously you're also known by your fabulous outfits. Do you think that dressing up for the part helps you be a better performer?
Oh, yes. First of all, in the back in the day, they did that. They wouldn't even walk to the corner store without their fresh pair of white shoes. It was about looking good all the time, and hip-hop the culture was who was in their lifestyle. Whereas now, people think because they go to classes 10 times a week, it's a lifestyle. But it's it is. But it's programmed. It's supposed to be natural. The natural dance you have is supposed to be, it comes when you're with someone. When you have another person to vibe with. So I think, going back to, what was the question?
How your outfits help you perform.
Yeah, so I feel like, it goes back to that. That's how it was back in the day. Like, and then also it makes sense because we liked Janet because she was wearing different outfits, and Michael, like he was, they always say you can't wear white socks with black shoes, and he did it, and he did it loud. He made them sick, and he was like, look, this is not the trend, but I don't care. And the thing is nothing's old for me, and all the old is coming back. So I feel like I've been inspired by, what was the question again?
The outfits. Sorry.
Like why I wear this or whatever. Yeah, I just feel like it's important because people need to know who you are when you dance. And it's not just your moves, because nowadays people don't even use feeling when they dance. So at least if they're going to know something about you, it's, are you timid? Do you like to hide under a hoodie? Do you like to wear shades? Or do you like to wear your hair like this? Or, it's like, that's a part of you, and dressing up helps me. Like when I'm Waackeisha, it's my alter ego. That woman I can't be every day, that I'm not that girly girl, I'm a tomboy. But when I dress up, and I wore the underwear on purpose to dare myself to do more. And go to the full, sexy is within yourself, it's being comfortable. So you don't have to dress sexy. But I did that just to help myself, and hip hop, down in any style, I feel like you need to represent who you are, and people will pay attention to you a little more because you'll be a little more memorable. And it's not because you're forcing it, but it's like, if you want to know why you didn't pass a prelim, you're not memorable because you didn't do something memorable or you didn't look memorable. So that's important, but that's not what I think about. It's just I'm showing people that's how it can work for you. But I have fun. Like, I love colors, and I don't like looking like other people. And if everyone's gonna wear something, I'm gonna be like, no, I want something that no one's gonna have.
So you mentioned prelims before. So now, I feel like most young dancers are very focused on battles, and you also mentioned how back in the day it was all about just having that feeling and knowing that you have it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people mention sometimes oh, that music just didn't work for me. But we all saw you last night, for example. You dealt with different tracks that had nothing to do with each other, and yet you still managed to stay true to your foundation. So is there advice that you could give to people who are having a hard time with music, maybe, in battles? How can they still show what they have?
One, it's to be, it's all about oneself. So it's like when you're dancing, you got to trigger how you're going to get a feeling. And sometimes when you have 30 seconds, it's hard. But it's like, take the little time that you have to find, if the beat shouldn't start, the battle shouldn't start until you actually move. So if you're grooving, that's okay. A lot of people feel like they got to just go. Ready, set, go, it's like a race. But it's like, when you vibe, that helps you calm down. And, and I feel like battling, you have to go in having fun. So you have to train yourself now. We didn't have to do that before, but now you have to train yourself I want to feel free. I want to be good. Because I know I've done battles where I overthought it, over-practiced, and then my real feeling wasn't right because I blamed it on the music, I didn't hear it. And I was too busy worrying about what I was wearing for the prelim in the second round when it was like, why can't I just go there to dance and have fun? That's, so I packed my little bodysuit because it fits in a backpack, and I go to the battle and I cipher. So when you get me on stage, you're interrupting me from a cipher. I'm warm already, so you're getting nothing but me. I give myself time on stage to get in that zone. And when you get a song you don't like, people are good at faking, but they don't use it when they're supposed to use it. And when I hate a song, when I get take it over, take it over, it's like, oh my God, I've learned on this song for so long, I don't want to hear it. And the first thing you got to do is, when you don't like something, you show it. It's like, if a guy wants to dance and you're not feeling him, you're going to be like, or you're just going to stop till he gets away.
Absolutely.
And, it's the same thing with, what was I saying?
Take it over.
Yeah, when I hear that song, now it's like, instead of being like, oh, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work. So it's like, now I have to have fun. Because if I know the song, It should be fun to just enjoy it. It's like, you know when you hear a song, like, oh, I hate the song on the radio, and as soon as you say you hate it, you start singing all the words of the song that you hate. It's the same thing. It's like, take it over, we know. Take it over. And then you're just waiting for the. So now I'm going to get it. It's like, okay, now I know. So now, instead of doing the old me, like, all these big stuff, I'm just going to go. We go. So I'm going to enjoy it more and mock it because I know it. So now we got to have fun and mock it for me to go through with something that I hate. And that's the only way it won't appear to the judges. You know, a lot of times I get these stupid instrumentals in hip-hop. It's like, shit, like, that's not hip-hop. Like, it's about telling a story. Why are there no words? Like, unless it's a dope instrumental with a lot of cuts, but it's all pre-planned now. It's like, and then they do it, and it's like, no, it's okay. Usually I'm not good at dancing like that, like those instrumental beats, because it numbs you. Because it challenges you to keep creative because the beat keeps repeating. But then it's all a matter of, do you have the control to keep showing the hip-hop in this very dry track, or do you let the track control you? And I always just, like, a lot of times I can't do it. Like, it controls me to a point where I'm trying to do their style, then I'm like, no, and then I'm trying to do the hip-hop, it feels wrong. But yes, when I battled last night, it just felt right. It was like, I know I'm dancing, I know I'm teaching people what hip-hop is. And it wasn't about winning, it was about teaching what hip-hop is. And moves are nice, but unless you could make it come together and make it nice, you can have a recipe, but if you don't make a cake, why the hell you got a recipe book? So to me, that's why I feel it's like really important to be comfortable with yourself, and we got to start practicing we have to train ourselves to relax instead of stressing. Sorry to talk so
Which is hard, no. Relaxing before a battle is very hard to do, especially when you're starting off as a
Exactly,
dancer.
because you want to win and you want the name and you want to get far, but I always get far when I don't care. Yesterday I went for the whacking, and then every time I go for that one style, I enter a second one, and the one that I went for, I don't go far, and the one that I did care about, I win. It happened at BAM too. And it's like weird, and I do it to myself, but also it's like with whacking, because it's not naturally me, it looks like it's me because like it's just so internet, but it's like I still gotta get into that, and I'm wearing heels and I like my kicks, and you know, it's like sometimes if my energy starts off wrong, I can. And then people already expect of Waackeisha anyway. Because sometimes I do win, but because it wasn't to the caliber of people expect, they're going to question what I do, you know? Which is fine, I can't win it at all, you know? But my vibe is harder to break. It's easier to break in whacking, whereas hip-hop, it's me. Like, I'm 100% me. Waackeisha's a part of me. Yeah. But I know myself first, that's why Waackeisha looks really good. Because if you're gonna clone something, it's gotta be real. I don't believe in cloning, but at least Waackeisha's a part of me, but it's a part of me because I'm whole as what Leah McFly. And also when I meet people, it's not just Waackeisha, because people always think they have to, but it's like, I'm human. Like, how are you? I'll hug you. Come get have a hug. Doesn't mean, but I understand a lot of dancers are gonna be like, they wait for you to say hi. Okay, so it's like, I'm a human being, and in my dancing, I might intimidate people. It's not me.
Maybe it's the hair.
Yeah, and I talk shit when I battle, and I'm a little rude, but it's just battle tactics. It's just to get under your skin, and I'll only get there if you let me. So, and I only do it because I have fun, and that relaxes me. If I'm making fun of you, I'm not worrying about my stress. I'm just getting you thrown off, so it works.
You mentioned before that battling is also about teaching people what it is that you do. Wait till you've been traveling a lot to teach. Where are some of the places you've been to?
I've been Asia, like Tokyo, Malaysia, China, Europe, Australia, the Caribbean too, Barbados, and like Canada too, you know, and going to New York, LA. I try to. Sometimes it's not teaching. It's like I'm actually just there to enter a battle and experience and vibe with people, collaborate. You know, so it's like not everything is about teaching. Sometimes it's all packaged, a bit of everything.
Is there any memory in particular that stands out from one of your recent travels?
There's a lot. Can I say two?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I got a lot. I think the first time was seeing Tyrone in Hong Kong. Like, my first international trip. I wasn't even invited, it's just I went there myself. And he happened to be there teaching workshop and doing an event. And I was part of it too. So that was good because it was like, oh my God, like I've learned from this man and now I'm working with this man. Like, I'm here with him and it was just really cool. And then also going to Tokyo and seeing Jodie Watley perform with La Rue de Shine, and just feeling like, oh my God, like she knows me. She knows me. And I know her, and my friends are dancing for her. And then going backstage, and it was like my birthday, and my first time in Tokyo, and it was my birthday. That was my dream.
Wow. Yeah.
To be in Tokyo. I just wanted to go to Tokyo. It was one of my dreams, and I was there for my birthday. And Jodie Watley gave me a birthday card. She wrote in it, and she signed it, and she gave me Jodie Watley's shirt that I wore today in class. It's like, yo, when you can meet someone that you look up to, and they respect you and what you do, and they're warm and giving, and then it's like, you can exchange your vibes. Like, she's an amazing artist, but we're actually talking as humans, but, you know, and like sharing experiences. So things like that, and like meeting other dancers in other countries, like, it makes the trip very memorable.
That's great. Is there any place you visited that you thought, oh, I would really like to live here?
I would live in Japan. I live in Tokyo.
Why? Why did you
I know
it so much?
I love that they're like, for shy people, they're very like confident. It's weird. Like, they're confident, but they're very stylish and they own their looks. So whether she's gonna look a baby doll or be gothic or be super hip hop, have afro, and you know, it's like, it's so inspiring. Like, they inspire me and they're inspired by me. They love my culture and then I love their culture. So it's like, that's just something I like, that they're very clean and very polite, and it brings the good out of me too. They all mean well, and it calms me down too because I'm a little firecracker. So that was one place I said I'd live. Where else? Definitely somewhere in Europe. But I would say I'm now leaning towards living in the Caribbean though for some reason. I'm enjoying the simple life. So, yeah, I guess that's something.
So what's coming up for you next?
Next is New York Street Lab, then Whack Date at UK Champs in London, Birmingham, then House of Vineyard in Amsterdam. Then I'll be back in Montreal, local teaching, and just traveling less, and trying to make more trips to Vancouver, of course. Probably do more within Canada, but I'm really teaching quite a bit of classes back home, so I want to get back in my community and travel a little less and settle down and stuff. So yeah.
And just one last question. If someone scheduled a class for you and it was, instead of calling it hip hop or whacking or popping or dancehall, they called it Liam McFly's style, what do you think that class would look like?
Oh, that's a very big question. If I had my own style, I'm a nut. So I think it would have a variety of like I like to roll around the floor. Like, I don't do it when I battle, but I love doing stupid things on the floor when I'm home, and I call it contemporary, and I just like shoot things, and I roll over, and like, so I don't know, like I think the style would have a lot of dance in it for sure. I probably use a lot of my reggae and a lot of the arms. I don't know what it would look like, but I think reggae, arms, and popping really can make something nice. I don't do everything at the same time, call it the octopus. I don't know. But it would definitely be something that will make you come out of yourself. Because dance, there's no room for shy people. Like if you really want to get far, like even if you're shy, you can only go so far when you're shy. When you take that risk and you put yourself in an uncomfortable position or a vulnerable position in front of people, you learn about yourself. So that's something I definitely want my dance to signify. It's kind of like crump. It's like you just went to church after you did one session, So it's definitely a McFly style, but definitely be a lot of dance involved. And popping and a lot of head movements.
Well, maybe one day we'll see that happen.
Yes, maybe one day.
That would be fun.
Make a nice kind of dance style.
Okay. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to make? Maybe your pages?
Leah McFly, Waackeisha, on Facebook and my Instagram. And yeah, you can pretty much hit me up there. And I'll shout out to my brother from Too Marvelous, my other half. He's Too Marvelous Hip Hop. My crew was before Waackeisha and before everything. My Jacklucia crew, Ivy League from New York. I have to shout out everybody. Like all Montreal scene for sure. Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver. Still trying to get to learn like Halifax, Edmonton, but I met some people from here, so that's good. Shouts for people in New York. Long list. My mom, my family, my friends, everything, everyone. So yeah.
Love for everyone. That's great.
Shout out to everybody. And shout out to all the shy people out there who want to be somebody. Instead of jumping out of a window, jump out of your heart. That sounds bad, eh?
No, that was fabulous.
But it's true. Don't jump out of a window, like, come out of yourself. Not out of But really, I've just been teaching people that a lot this week. I feel like I needed to be here. Like, even if you eliminate workshops and battles, like, just the vibe, you guys were, plus, I didn't forget that you guys were part of my beginning times, like, when I just started teaching, and, like, before my tours, before me leaving and traveling far, I was here. I was doing classes here. So that means you guys believed in me from earlier times, probably even before HDI, or was it after?
I think it was before.
Probably after, right? Because, everyone knew me after HDI. But there was a very small group that caught me right away from, like, that hype, So, and you guys were one of them. So I felt like me wanting to move here last year and, like, me just being like, I need to come to Vancouver. I was like, I just need to come. So when Bumbo asked me to come, I didn't have the money. It was all, like, different things. But I was like, I wanted to find a way and just get there. And I'm happy I did. And I know a lot of people are uneasy. No one wants to step on anyone's toes in Vancouver. But I've been explaining, like, it's okay to take risks and tell people how you feel. Because they're going to find out by someone else. So you might as well let them know. Because then it makes more drama than it should. And, I have a strong way of expressing myself. I could come off harsh, but I'm a caring person. I do nice things, but I'll be like, you're whack. What you just did was whack, but I love you. Let's go have this. That's how I am. So it's like, a lot of times people get misguided. They just like, she was mean to me. But it's not going to be mean. If I tell you, give you good criticism or bad, if I give you bad, if someone gives you bad, it's because they care. Because if they're going to keep telling you you're good, they don't want you to get better. So,
yeah. Well, thank you very much. And shout outs again to Funktowers TV. You can follow it on everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And yeah, Thanks.